Hello and welcome. My name is Todd Hershey, and tonight what we're going to be looking at is what's behind that door in your mind that you keep kind of secret stuff behind. We all have one. Tonight we're going to look not only at what you're hiding, we're going to look at your entire life. But in order for your life to work, we got to get that stuff from behind the door out, clean it out, clear it out, and then refilled with the kind of good stuff that's going to make your life incredible. I mean, not only sort of incredible, but very incredible. So let's get cracking at this because there's a lot to go over tonight. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the work that's necessary to create a life that has meaning, value, the kind of life that you really want to have, the kind of life that is going to be one that brings great value, not only to yourself, but the people around you. In order to do that, we're going to look at what makes a person a player or an arranger. And most of us are players. Some of us are arrangers. A player is somebody who does what they do because that's kind of just what they thought this was what life was going to be about. And that's all fine. But the reality is that you don't want to be just a player. You want to be an arranger. You want to be the person who creates a life doing what you love, doing what you feel is just really the best version of yourself possible. So tonight we're going to take a look at what it's going to take for you to be a creator and to create the life that you truly want. Now, that's that sounds a lot, how should I say this? That sounds a lot easier than what it actually is. So for those of you who are ready to do this, great. For those of you who are not ready to do this, this is going to be virtually impossible. So grab a cup of tea, grab a glass of wine, grab whatever you want to, because this is going to take us a bit to get through. And it's going to take me a little while to explain some of this stuff. Forgive me, it's incredibly hot here. So I'll be doing this quite a bit probably. So the first thing we're going to look at is your work. Do you have a job? Do you have a career? Do you have a calling? Okay. A job is something that you do for money. A career is something that you do for an extended period of time. It's a plan that you're going to do this and then you're going to retire and your life is going to at that point be good. A calling is none of the above. A calling is something that you have to do. It is something that you do not for money, not for advancement, not for anything other than the love of doing it. Tonight we're going to show you how you can figure out what your calling is. And that's going to take a little bit of effort, and it's going to take you working with this thing right here. This is known as the alchemic pyramid. We're going to go through this a little bit later in the video, and it will show you all kinds of fun things. It will literally show you how things came to be in your life, how to manifest things, how to transcend situations, how to find hidden messages, find your purpose, stay focused, all these incredible metaphysical things that most people really want to learn how to do. And we're going to go ahead and show you all of this stuff. It's going to take time though. We're going to need to take a couple of sessions to get through all this because we're going to not only look at your life, we're going to take a look at your relationships, which is going to be next week, your relationships, finding the relationship, getting the relationship, holding on to the relationship, making relationships work, both personal and professional. After that, we're going to be looking at your work. Do you have a job? Do you have a career? Do you have a calling? We're going to help you out with that one. We're going to go through all of these different things, but we're going to also look at why people struggle, what the struggle is around these things. And in order to figure out the struggle and go beyond that, we're going to need to go into that locked door. We're going to need to go into that place where you are the one who is, shall we say, holding yourself back. One of the things I found in my time working with people is that we don't always see ourselves the way other people do. A lot of times what happens is that we hear ourselves and see ourselves doing one thing, and the world will see ourselves doing something completely different. And then we wonder, why doesn't the world understand us? So what I did was I created a program called Sage so that you could see yourself and change things in your life so that you can change the world around you. Because let's face it, you're not going to change the world in a day, but you can change yourself. So tonight what we're going to look at is how you can change yourself. And the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to understand who you are and what you're doing, where you're at. You're going to need to understand a lot of things, and we'll get into that in about 2-3 minutes. But in order to do that, those changes, you're going to need to see yourself as you actually are. Now, most people don't actually do that. Do you remember the first time you heard yourself talk on an answering machine and you were like, oh my God, is that my voice? It didn't sound like you to your ear. It doesn't sound like you. When I would work with people and there were 2 people in the room, and I would be saying something to person A that this is what's happening, this is what you're doing. And person A is going, no, it doesn't sound like me at all. And person B, their mouth is wide open. It's just like on the ground. And they're like, oh my God, that's totally you. We don't always see ourselves as other people see us. We don't always hear the same things that other people hear, even though they're coming out of our mouth. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use the process that I have to allow you to see where you're at. Once we see where you're at, we know who you are. Once we know who you are, we'll know why you're here. Once we know why you're here, we will know where you need to go. Once we know where you need to go, you'll know what to do, which is completely different than how you're taught. You're taught is what you do is who you are, which leads to massive amounts of misery because most people don't know who the hell they are. And they try and say, what I do is who I am. So I'm a beautiful person on the outside. I must be a beautiful person on the inside. I'm successful on the outside, so I must be successful on the inside. No, that's not true at all. One has nothing to do with the other. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and find out what's really inside of you. So what I want to do now is, if you're watching this, go ahead and get a piece of paper and a pencil. Why do I say that? I'm old because that's what we would do. For those of you who are more modernly inclined, please go pull up Microsoft Word or whatever editing program you would like, and get ready to answer some questions. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and look at this pyramid. And as I just mentioned that I'm getting older, I'm going to use these. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at this. This is the alchemic pyramid. It goes 1 to 10. It's got 4 layers, and the first the first box is written as energy. Okay? And subconscious, conscious, intention, action, outcome, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Each one of these levels pertains to a part of your life. Each one of these levels you can work with to change a part of your life, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual, or, say getting in better health, finding a relationship that you want, finding a career path or job that makes you totally happy, or stepping outside your comfort zone and becoming more, doing all kinds of mystical, magical things in the spiritual world, which we're going to do. What you're going to need to do with this, and this is important, I need you to hear me on this one, is write down one word for each one of these boxes on a piece of paper, number 1 to 10, going up, down. And how would you, first of all, describe a number 1? How would you describe your energy? If you were to close your eyes and say, who am I? What is my energy? What am I about? In one word, who are you? What is your energy? Write that down next to number 1. Now, for the subconscious, it's a simple test, or not test, it's a simple thing. Basically, from the day you were born until today, how would you describe your life with one word? That's number 2. How would you describe your life with one word from the day you were born until today? For number 3, go ahead and write, how would you describe your life today? What is it like? How do you feel about it? Number 4, how would you describe your life from today until the day you die? What do you think that's going to be like? Not what you hope it's not, what you hope it's going to be like, not what you want it to be like, not any of that stuff, but what you actually believe it's going to be like. And remember, cheating is really not, there's no reason to cheat here. Nobody's going to see these but you. Okay? So feel free to answer openly and honestly, and feel free to go back in this video. You don't have to answer it like in split second timing. You can rewind this as many times as you want and just put down the actual and authentic answer. The more authentic the answer, the more likely you are to get help or to get something from this. If you put in just sunshiny answers because you think that's just what you want people to see, well, nobody's going to see it, and you're only going to hinder your own growth. So in this time, do yourself a favor and be authentic and be honest, as brutally honest as you can. No halfway or sort of, kind of, don't do that. And just really use the sword, cut through the lies, the red tape, the bullshit that you tell to other people and that you tell to yourself, and put the actual honest to God answer. I'll explain to you why that's so important at the end of this. Now, describe your actions. How would you describe your actions? Are they strong, kind? Are they mystical? What kind of actions do you have in the world? Describe your actions, not other people's actions, your actions. This is about you. And describe the outcome. Now, the outcome is always fun because to me, I always say this to the people I work with: you're dead. We need to write one word on your tombstone about your life. What would that word be? Write that word down. Here lies, their life was blank. Write that down. Now go ahead and take number 7 and write down the physical nature of your life. How would you describe the physical nature of your life? Look around you. Is it plush? Is it hard? Is it easy? Is it rich? Is it wanting? Is it, what is it? How would you describe the physical world that you live in? Describe your physical world. Next, you would describe your emotional world. Describe your friends, friendships. Describe your relationships. What are those like? Next, describe your mental. Are you sharp? Are you bright? Are you dull? Are you foggy? Are you quick? Are you slow? What are you mentally? And then finally, spiritually. What are you doing? Are you spiritually, are you advanced? Are you growing? Are you learning? What are your words? Now, here's the thing. Most of you will want to put in, rich and fabulous and wonderful and adjectives like that to describe your life. And yet that's probably not the best thing for you to do, especially if you're lying, because if you're lying, then you won't get any help. This will mean absolutely nothing to you. You get a beautiful sentence of string of words. And then what's going to happen is that you will not be able to change your life whatsoever because you just completely lied. And by lying, it won't work. You got to be honest. Honesty is the most important thing. And there are people that I know that have done this with me. People who have used words like harsh and lonely and all kinds of different things like that, where these words don't seem positive on the surface, but they are actually very positive, because what happens is because that person's life was harsh, they are now very successful. Because they were lonely, they valued their friendships and they make sure that they are in good relationships, and relationships that are, working together and doing well together. So take a moment, take a tick, and write 1 to 10 down the side of a piece of paper and describe your energy. Describe your life from the day you were born until today. Describe your life today. Describe what you think your life is going to be. Describe your actions. Describe the outcome of your life, what you think that was. Describe your physical world, emotional world, mental world, and spiritual world. Because when you do that, then what's going to happen is that we will be able to answer the things down below, which is basically how things came to be in your life. What we do is we start and we put these words together. And as we put them together, we can tell you how your things came to be in your life today. We can look at how you're going to manifest things. What are the things that you want to manifest? Do you want to manifest a new job? Do you want to manifest 15 pounds lighter? Do you want to manifest whatever? Relationship, a good one, something that lasts. how to transcend your situations, how to understand hidden messages. That's always a fun one because we have all kinds of things that we do not see around us. And by doing this, we'll be able to start seeing a hell of a lot more than what we thought. It's one of those things where, you read a book and it's got a word in there like Pegasus, and all of a sudden you see flying horses everywhere. It's one of those things where your subconscious is expanded. So we're going to look to expand our subconsciousness, and that's how we're going to do it. How to stay purposeful or focused, which is going to be really important, especially nowadays, because things are going to change a lot more quickly and a lot more radically. And like the prophet said, we cannot change the world, we can only change ourselves. We're going to need to change ourselves to keep up with the changes around the world today. How to transform situations, how to take that situation that is not going good and make it good, how to elevate a situation or to make the best of a situation, how to come from the best place possible, especially when you can't change it. How do we make it and transform it into something better than it was? We will figure out why you're doing what you're doing, and then we will show you how you can influence other people and situations to get what you want or to do what you want or to do things. And this is going to be coming with a really huge warning in that basically you want to be careful about manipulations and manipulating people. We don't want to manipulate people at any point. Okay? That is not what we're here to do. All right? For those of you who want to, you can see that my email is right there at the bottom. And if you want to, feel free to send me your pyramid, and I'll use it for the next time. The next time we're going to go through, and I'm actually going to read what a real actual pyramid looks like and what a person can do to change that, okay? And do yourself a favor. When you're done with it, give yourself a score, okay? On a scale of 1 to 10, okay? Right now, ask yourself, a scale of 1 to 10, where's my life right now? And put that number from 1 to 10 in the upper right-hand side of your page. Now, for every positive word that you see, give yourself a point, okay? For every neutral word, give yourself a half point. For every negative word that you see, give yourself 0 points. So you have 10 words. Each positive word is worth a point. Each neutral word is a half point. Each negative word is 0 points. A positive word is happy, loving, caring. A neutral word could be things like average, okay, so-so, things like that. Negative words are usually hateful, embarrassing, chaotic, things you don't really want people thrown into your life. And that'll give you a generalized score as to where you're at. When you're done with that, then what we're going to do is we're going to have you swap out old words, such as the negative words, the old negative words, for positive new words. With that, and I'm going to show you how to do that next time, is how you can go ahead and turn lead into gold, sadness to happiness, and transcend different dimensions. Remember, all things in metaphysics begin and end in this pyramid. Okay? The reason why I say that is because every metaphysical person had to breathe, eat, read, learned, did basically the same thing. All people have a physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual component. They have earth, water, fire, air. If you want to change a physical situation, emotional, mental, or spiritual situation, you have to say, what is the outcome that I want? What are the actions necessary for me in order to get that outcome? And why am I doing it? At that point, you can consciously make a plan to overcome the obstacles and go into that which you do not know and create that energy. Now, that being said, can I play football? No, not on a professional level. I can go out and throw it around on Thanksgiving, but can I play professional football? No, can't. Why? Too old, too slow. Never gonna happen for me. Those days are gone. This pyramid will work when you work it. And that means, again, you can't lie to yourself. You can't lie about this. If you lie about something, it won't happen. You'll say, this is garbage. It doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. It's not garbage. You've just asked it to do an impossible thing. There's a reason why we don't give 16-year-olds $3.5 million Ferraris that race around Formula One tracks at 215 miles an hour. There's a reason why we do things. This will give you the opportunity to change your life, to manifest things, to find out hidden spiritual messages. This will allow you to go so far beyond anything that you want or even conceive. It's incredible. But if you want it to turn back the hands of time, it won't. If you want it to do something in a day, like lose 35, 40 pounds, it can't. The way you work with it will be the way it can help you determine and to produce the results that you're looking for. And remember, the more honest you are with it, the more likely you are to get the result that you want. The more that you lie, half-ass, kind of back and forth, it will basically not help you at all. Okay? It's like weights. You got to know how to use them before you just jump into a weight room. Okay? So fill those out, send them in. I'll pick one or two, we'll go over the answers, and we'll go over the answers, and you'll actually be able to see where you are at right now in your life. And next week, we'll go through how you can make these changes. Okay? Now, there's a lot of things that we're taught. And there's a lot of things that we're shown that are not necessarily positive. There was a wonderful story in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and really good book. And it talks about this poor guy and his son walking by a Ferrari dealership, and the father says to the son, "Don't look in there; it's just going to hurt you. You know, we're never going to be able to afford that. So just keep moving." And a couple minutes later, a rich dad and his son were walking by the same Ferrari dealership, and the kid looked in and said, "Wow, that's really a nice car. It's really beautiful." Father says, "Yeah, let's go in." Kid goes, "Okay." Father says, "Jump in." So the kid jumps in, gets behind the steering wheel, does what a little kid does, grabs the wheel, makes car noises. Father looks at the kid and says, "What do you think? You like it?" And the kid's like, "Oh, yeah." Father says, "Do you think we should get it?" The kid's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Me too. The only thing we got to figure out is how we buy this without your mother killing us." What did the rich father, what did the poor father teach their son? What you're going to do in this pyramid is going to show us what you've been taught, especially if you're honest, especially if you're open to ideas, concepts, and different things like that, that can allow you to change and make your life a lot better. So again, we're not here for good answers. We're here to find out how you were raised, what you believe, where you're at. Because the reality is that in our society, unless you were one of those very lucky people who got to go to a private school and your parents were absolutely wonderful, you weren't really given the tools to look at your life and say, "Who am I?" Did you ever have a test in school that said, "Who are you?" Did you ever have a question on any test that said, "Why are you here?" Or "Where are you going? Why do you want to do that?" Well, we're going to answer those. But the first thing I need you to do is I need you to get that first piece of the puzzle done, which is to just go ahead and fill out that pyramid and send it to me. I'll go ahead and I'll make you the promise. If you send it to me within the next 48 hours, I'll actually go through and I'll actually send you a voice recording back of what I see, what I'm reading, how to read it, and you'll be able to see and hear, well, not see, but you'll be able to hear exactly all that's going on in your life, okay? This is really important because we got a reset coming. And we're going to get a reset financially, We're going to get a reset socially. We're going to get a reset politically. There's a lot of things being reset in the world. Okay? And you can't change those, but you can change yourself, and you can get yourself ready for those changes. It's kind of like winter. You're not going to stop winter, but you can get new tires for the car that are snow tires. You can get your house sealed up. You can start taking your vitamin D's, vitamin C. You can do things that will allow you to, to withstand the storms that are going to be coming. And this is the best way to withstand the storms. Okay? So again, my word to you, if you get me that sheet with your answers in the next 48 hours, I'll send you back a voice thing saying, this is what I see, this is why I see it, and this is what you can do, this is where you can go. All right. Last thing, because I'm way over tonight, is a prediction. I believe with everything going in the world today, we're going to get tested. And the tests are going to be pretty huge. Some of these tests are going to be mostly about our relationships. And I think we're going to get tested with regards to marriage and family, and to see if you're kind of in the right relationships. God knows if you're listening to this, there's something special about you. And the reason why I say that is not everybody is willing to do this. Not everybody's willing to run into a burning building and grab somebody and pull them out. It takes a special and unique kind of person. This is not going to be right for everybody. And anybody who thinks that they can just do it is gravely mistaken. And that comes from doing this for the last 40 years. I've seen a lot of very rich and powerful people break down and just not be able to do this. I've seen a lot of smart people. You can see the wheels just slowly creaking until they just break and snap. It's one of those things where this is going to basically be who you are, and you'll be able to see it for the good, the bad, the ugly, as Clint Eastwood would say. But it's going to be really helpful. And the reason why it's going to be really helpful is because it's going to show you what you can do to make your life better. And I'll leave you with this final thought. I created this for one reason. When I talked with people, I would tell them something, and they would, tend to get upset with me. And so I created Sage so people could see themselves as they truly are. Because unless you know who you are, what you are, you can't change it. And what I did was I created this so that people can see themselves for who they actually are. And by doing this, what happens is that, for example, if I say, if I look at you and I say that, well, the reason why you're not successful is because you're lazy. You might take offense to that, me calling you lazy, or me calling you not very bright, or me saying you don't have the training necessary, or me saying you can be cranky, or me saying all kinds of different things. But if you use the words, then guess what happens? It's an immediate acceptance. Look at it this way. If you and I have a blood problem, if I have a blood problem and I get your blood and we're not compatible, I'm dead. But if I go for a surgery and I take the blood out 6 months in advance, I take a couple pints out, and in the surgery, I get my own blood back, then guess what? I'm fine because it's my own blood. There's no risk of rejection. I'm not going to use my words to tell you what you are, who you are, where you're supposed to go, or what you're supposed to do. We're going to use your words. We're going to use your thoughts, your ideas. And the reason for that is you don't need my clothes. You don't need my suit, my jacket, my shoes, because they ain't going to fit you. They're going to fit me. We're going to create your own unique, bespoke life. One in which things were designed for you, tailored for you, fitted on you, and look amazing. And it all starts with that pyramid and those 10 simple words that can change your life. So I hope you take the time, and I hope you put them down and send them back to me. And if you are embarrassed, afraid, or whatever, hold on to them. The next time we do this, I'll show you exactly how to read them, exactly what to do, exactly how to do it. And for those of you who are terrified, send them to me anonymously. Okay? Send them from a dummy account. You're smart enough to do that, most of you. And I'll just read them and we'll go through them. But you deserve to live your own authentic life in which you are the star of your life, in which things were designed for you, created for you, and made by you so that you can live the best, richest, fullest version of life possible. Okay, as always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me through my website, todd@toddhershey.com. This information, this sheet that you see here, is in the link below. I'll put the link in there. Feel free to go ahead and either pause it right here, or feel free to go to the website and you can just download it. I made it completely downloadable and easy for anybody to get. That's the whole idea, making it easy. All right, again, we're going to go through these tomorrow. And next time, we're going to talk a little bit about love, and we're going to do some things around relationships so that when we do get the perfect job, we don't screw it up with working with the wrong people. Okay? That's it for tonight. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to contact me. As always, thank you for listening, and I look forward to your thoughts. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and do all the rest of that good stuff. Have a great week. And remember, it's going to be about relationships this week. So good luck. Bye-bye.